What's going on, guys? K-Dub here with another episode of Crypto Zombie. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a great start to your week. Bitcoin having a wild start to its week, specifically just this morning. So basically we had, the week opening, the Dixie started falling, and look at what the stocks did. This is actually the 1 hour chart. Look at how this, so it gapped up right here, right? Massively bullish. Everybody was getting excited. The stocks looked like they were going to do well. Bitcoin started pumping, and then it just started reversing, and Bitcoin started falling as well. Now, there are unfortunately a few warning signs that we need to go over. One of them specifically just being the Bitcoin short products, okay? So these are people who are shorting Bitcoin in these funds. According to CoinShares, they had $10 million in inflows into these short products and $12 million in outflows of long products. And this is happening now for the third week in a row. They're saying that this is because a lot of investors are scared that the Fed is going to be more hawkish with a 50 basis point raise. And also, we had that regulation possibility, and they're saying that they could have something potentially by midway through this year. Now, in yesterday's video, it was a little bit of a warning scenario because the IMF was essentially saying that they would consider banning cryptocurrencies. Well, today we actually got some clarification on that statement. So I do want to talk about what they feel specifically and was it actually as bad as everyone thought it was. So we're going to talk about that. Also, I want to discuss something that has just happened for the first time in Bitcoin's history ever. Yes, so literally history is being made today. Now, it did happen on a lower time frame, and it was very polarizing. The first time, we had a massive pump. The second time, we had a massive dump. Either way, there was a lot of volatility. So we're going to talk about that, and I'm going to talk about a specific level and why I still remain quite bullish on Bitcoin, even if we do have a correction in the short term. So if that happens to sound good to you, you know what to do. If you're not subscribed, welcome back to the Crypto Zombie channel. We're kicking off this week. We're going to talk about what we're seeing. So realistically, having a look at what the S&P did today, much more aggressive, really, than what we're seeing for Bitcoin. In fact, Bitcoin on the daily is really just chugging along here in this parallel channel like it has been. And, obviously, as expected, this is what we were talking about, right? We have the center heart line right here, and look at where we got that rejection, right? So obviously it was resistance here, support here, and now it's resistance again, right? So this does make a possibility that if we don't break again, that we do come down here and retest the bottom of this channel, which means we could potentially fall down to around that $22,500 level. I'm not going to put that out of the cards just yet. But something very interesting that I do just want to point about with the structure of how Bitcoin has been moving up, it's almost been moving up in a textbook break the level, test the level type of a scenario, right? So look at how crazy this is. It's like almost predictably out of a textbook. Look, so we have this high right here, right? What do? We struggle to break above it. Finally, we break above it. And then what do? Look at this. We retest it. Boom, right there, right? That's the first one. Look at the second one. Same thing right here, right? So we have this high right here, right? We break through it. We kind of test it, fall through it, come up, and boom. Look, test it again. And the question is that kind of what we're doing here? Are we testing this again? And then, maybe we come down here, retest it, and then Bitcoin comes up here, and then boom, we might break out of that and then retest it again. Because honestly, guys, this is putting us potentially up into this area here. And I'm going to show you why there is a possibility that Bitcoin is going between $28,000 and $30,000 before having any type of a major correction. Now, obviously, lots of resistance here. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Terra Luna Wick. This is where we're having the issue. But you can see that with the exception of this area right here, this sort of brings us to the bottom of the wick up to here at around 28 to 30,000. Now, why would we get to that? Well, there's a possibility we could have a pullback. Like I said, as long as we maintain, a higher low on the macro, which basically, as long as Bitcoin doesn't really go below 16,300, that could be the area. And what's interesting is this coin price forecast website. Not sure if you guys have seen this. It's actually, this is an AI thing that, by the way, that like guesses the price of Bitcoin. And it's estimating that by the end of this year, Bitcoin will actually be around $30,123. And what's crazy about this, and yes, we're going to do the Fibonacci's again. If we go from the previous all-time high, right, down to that low, you could see how Bitcoin really lined up on this 1.618 right here. You see this area right here, right? But then also look at where we had this bottom tail right here. What's crazy is if you take that level, right, and you actually just take the retracement from where we were now down to where we've been, what's actually crazy is you see that we're basically in no man's land right here. And this does essentially put this next target region, as you guys can see right in here, right? Around 28,000 to 30,000. And, that would perfectly coincide with all of this right here, all of this right here, and even this bounce right here. So I don't think it would be impossible, to see Bitcoin come up here before. Well, we're not going to go. Hopefully, we don't go down that far. But coming down something like this, and basically that would be like what we did here, where we went up halfway, right? This one went to actually the 0.618, right, on the retrace down here. So 0.618, actually, if we went up to that on here, that would be actually up at around 48,000. Are we going to go that high? I don't know this time, guys, given the macro environment, but it is very interesting to see how that's all lined up. And, as I said, over here on the weekly, we did have a green dot. We had one down here, which signaled the pump, but right now, most of the market is curving back to the other side. So if you are looking to take a long specifically, I would wait until we get another confirmation. I mean, yes, we did technically have, this wave and dot here. And for the most part, when you get these, right, boom, that was up, boom, that was up. But the move kind of already happened. So as you guys could see, boom, crazy crash, right? So there is a potential chance that we do have, maybe some double bottom type thing forming right here. So just be careful with that. And of course, guys, if, by the way, you do want to learn how to trade, everything is free. I have a bunch of free tutorials. I just did an Apex tutorial. If you guys want to learn how to trade decentralized and literally pay pennies for fees, it's crazy. So check that out, popping up above. And remember, guys, take advantage of the $56,000 in bonuses. Now, here is something that happened for the first time ever. So the Bollinger Band width, and Mustache points this out, this is the first time that we have ever seen the squeeze indicator on the 2-week chart giving a green signal. Now, this has only ever happened twice on the weekly. This has never happened on this 2-week, right? So what's crazy is if we have a look at the weekly, the last time we had it was back here, and this was a crazy bull run from 2016 into 2017, right? But then the second time that we had it, we had the FTX crash, right? So you can almost say with certainty that there probably is going to be some volatility coming in quite soon, right? It's been a little bit calm. We had the big move, and then the price really didn't do anything, right? So I think we are expecting something. Now, according to analyst Axel Adler over at CryptoQuant, he says that the bottom is probably in. He says it became clear after the FTX crash that the Bitcoin price could not fall any further due to psychological factors, rather than a set of metrics that had not yet signaled the end of the bear cycle. And the final rise in price began after the new year when sellers were completely exhausted at the 16.5K level, even though it did wick down a little bit lower. But here's an update. So in yesterday's video, we heard that Janet Yellen, was not looking to ban Bitcoin, but the IMF said that they would consider it. Well, they actually asked this lady, what was her name? Kristalina Georgieva. They asked her. Now, she commented on this because people were like, well, you're going to ban cryptocurrencies. So she spoke on the side of the G20, which is in India right now. And she explained how the United Nations Financial Agency views digital assets and what it would like to see in terms of regulation. So she said, we are very much in favor of regulating the world of digital money. This is a top priority for us. She responded to the question on her recent comments about a potential complete ban on cryptocurrencies. So she clarified. She said, there's a little bit of confusion, okay? Our first objective is to differentiate between central bank digital currencies that are backed by state and publicly issued crypto assets and stablecoins. Fully backed stablecoins create a reasonably good space for the economy, but non-backed crypto assets are speculative, high risk, and not money. However, the option to ban cryptocurrencies should not be completely taken off the table if they begin to pose a greater risk to financial stability. But good regulations, predictability, and consumer protection would be a better option, and banning would not need to be considered. So a little bit of a mix up here. First, they're like, yes, we would highly consider banning. Now it's like, we would prefer to not ban it. We would prefer to regulate it. So they asked her, what would cause you to make the decision to ban crypto? And she said that an inability to protect consumers from the rapidly evolving world of crypto assets would be the primary catalyst. The IMF, now here's the big kicker, okay? And this is why it's coming, guys. That's what I was saying yesterday. It's coming. Here it comes. Get ready. The IMF, the Financial Stability Board, and the Bank for International Settlements are jointly preparing to release regulatory framework guidelines in the second half of this year. So this is going to be a pivotal year for cryptocurrencies. We are going to potentially have global regulations, or at least a regulatory framework, by the end of this year or sooner, right? So something to just consider. Now, I don't really like how she did say the inability to protect consumers from the rapidly evolving world of crypto assets would be the primary catalyst, because let's be honest, I mean, I pretty much look at crypto every day. And even for the average person, even for somebody in crypto, right? Not even just the average person, this space does evolve quite fast. And the trends come very fast. And they go very fast. But it is always evolving. So I don't know. They're just going to have to stay up on that, right? Now, Gary Gensler has said in an interview that pretty much every sort of crypto transaction already falls under the SEC's jurisdiction, except spot transactions in Bitcoin itself and the actual purchase or sale of goods or services with cryptos. Everything other than Bitcoin. So basically everything that's not Bitcoin, I guess this includes Ethereum, I don't know, is a security. Well, Jake Chervinsky, by the way, he's a lawyer, this guy, and he's very into crypto. He says Gensler may have prejudged that every digital asset aside from Bitcoin is a security, but his opinion is not the law. Remember that. The SEC lacks authority to regulate any of them until and unless it proves its case in court for each asset, every single one, individually, one at a time. So, yeah, guys. Yeah, regulatory clarity. How clear from the SEC will it really be? Well, at the end of the day, I just wanted to end on this interview with the CFO of Blocks. Now, if you don't know what Blocks is, it's this company right here. And, they're really into, helping people to manage and send and receive money, right? They have Square, Cash App, Spiral, Tidal, TBD, etc. And, she went on and she says, ultimately, this is long-term, potentially transformational initiative to build utility into Bitcoin. And she does feel, from what I'm getting, there's more to this interview. This is only few seconds, but sounds pretty bullish to me.
I wanted to ask you about Bitcoin. You have, I think, about $1.83 billion as of Q4 in terms of revenue, down 7%. You also have Bitcoin on your balance sheet. How much is there right now?
Over $130 million of Bitcoin on our balance sheet as of the end of the year, with a fair market value being above that. Ultimately for us, this is a long-term, potentially transformational initiative to build utility into the Bitcoin ecosystem. We believe the internet needs a currency that will help bring down inefficient costs in the system that exists right now, particularly for underserved consumers around the world and in emerging markets. So our focus here is on the ways in which we can help build resilience utility into the Bitcoin ecosystem. But we're doing that in a disciplined way.
So that's it for me, guys. Thank you so much for coming back to the channel. It is a little bit of a rough start to this week. Not gonna lie, we do have to see if Bitcoin can hold, above these levels, or if we're gonna end up coming back down here. But it is interesting to see how these levels do line up. Like I said, wait for that confirmation if we are looking for that next long, some kind of a trigger wave or something like this. And we are having them cross over on the wave edge as well. So when we get that double confirmation, guys, I will let you know. If not, well, then maybe, just maybe the bears will get their 10K Bitcoin. I don't know, though. I don't know if that's going to happen. I think too many people want it, but let me know what you guys think below. That's it for me today, guys. You rock. You're awesome. Thank you again for coming back. My name is K-Dub. This is Crypto Zombie. Until next time, stay crypto, and make sure you check this video popping up right here, right now. Peace out.